All right, welcome. And I want to spend most of our time together here today kind of just talking about the steel guitar playing when it pertains to playing songs that are really fast. A lot of times we just simply call this speed picking. And so I've been doing a lot of that for the most of my life and my career on the steel guitar. I've really worked hard at trying to play single note things that are really fast and clean, and it takes a lot of technique and a lot of practice to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you out with a couple of real simple things and kind of show you where I've come from just developing this technique, and then we'll get on into maybe some intermediate and some advanced things even on this lesson for you to work on, and then later on down the road you'll be incorporating those into some improvisation that you're doing, maybe on a fast song like Orange Blossom Special or Rolling My Sweet Baby's Arms. Hopefully some of these techniques will really help you in other areas of your playing. Really simple to start out with. We're going to stay on strings 8, 7, and 6, and we're going to add the 5th string in on a few things that we do here today. But we're going to start this first exercise on strings 8, which is an E, 7, F sharp, and then the G sharp string, the 6th string. That's where most of this lesson will be pertained, and then we're going to also use our B pedal, which will be the G sharp, 2, and A. All right? So the first exercise goes like this. Now, that sounds real simple, doesn't it? And then, of course, we want to come back down as well. And the reason I do this is because of several things I want you to learn with this very simple exercise. First of all, just with the bar movement, we're going to do a whole tone scale. So it's no bar, fret 0 if you will. Then we're going to go to the 2nd fret, the 4th fret, the 6th fret, the 8th fret, the 10th fret, the 12th fret. So every 2 frets all the way up. And that's a whole tone scale. Okay? Now, at this rate of speed, there's lots of different styles of speed picking that I do. But if you'll notice here with my right hand, a little bouncing motion that was happening. So that's kind of one method I have. So you can see that hand. It's actually, and so when it gets in that rhythm, it's bouncing. Now we're going to slow that way back, and you'll notice that I am blocking each string with the back part of my hand here. So, and so as it gets in that groove, you can see the strings are being blocked. That's what's going to keep it clean, rather than if I didn't block, it would be real muddy. So the first thing you want to do is really learn to get that clean. So you may have to go slower. Now I want to give you a tip, and this is really hard to practice this way, but it will really help you in the end. I have learned that I will challenge myself. Okay, if this is the right way to do it one time, then what I will tell myself, okay, I'm going to practice this. I'm going to get this 5 times in a row completely right before I move on to anything else. And so I would tell myself, okay, this is my exercise. Okay, and so I would say that's one time that I have done that correctly. And then I would give myself a personal goal. I'd say, okay, I'm going to do this 5 times in a row perfectly before I move on to any other exercise. And that's it'll be kind of tough to do that, but that kind of practicing will pay off. So that's the first side of it, just 8, 7, 6. Now, you can also just easily do something like this as well, and just to work the pattern back and forth. Check this out. So that was kind of 2 times running the whole thing, and I made it through it. But to do that maybe 5 times through would be even difficult for me right now. So practice that lick right there. Now let's do the opposite of that lick. Let's take string 6. I'm going to use the middle finger for that. String 7, use the first finger for that, and the 8th string will be played by the thumb. And we're just going to literally do the opposite of that. Now, going backwards like this is it's gonna create a different movement. You're gonna see that you're not gonna bounce as much. So now that's going a little faster, but if you're going slower, you could do the more bouncing movement. But if you want to get it quicker, you'll have to kind of keep the hand in place. And so that gets really fast at that point. Almost becomes a trill. And that's a lot of pick blocking when you're going that fast. You can hear that with the pickers so fast that the picks are coming back down before you can ever get the palm, the back part of the hand onto the strings. So however you want to practice that, just be sure to do it both ways. And then, so 8, 7, 6, and then 6, 7, 8. Now, let's do another little lick here to kind of make this evolution, make it go somewhere else. And we're going to, so now we're going to 8, 7 with the index finger, and with the middle finger, I'm going to hit the 6th string, and then I'm going to push my B pedal. And then I'm going to let off that pedal, and then I'm going to hit the 7th string with my first finger, and then I'm going to hit the thumb. So real simple, but we're going to work it all the way up to the point where we can so that sounds pretty impressive, doesn't it, when you put it at that speed? But to start out with, so that you can kind of see the pattern developing there, and then of course ultimately to be able to almost like a trill would be on a piano when you that's kind of the way I'm doing the strings. Of course you can see I'm catching it out on the backside, otherwise it would be real muddy and all over the place, so I want that. So by the time I add the other part of that, now there's a couple little subtle things happening here. One is I can hit 8, 7, 6, hit my pedal, come back off the pedal, then hit 7 and 8. Or I can hit 8, 7, 6, hit the pedal, let off the pedal, and as I'm letting off the pedal, I hit the 6th string again. So you kind of got the... So you'll hear this. And I encourage this because as you get on into trying to improvise, do something with all this speed, you've got to learn how to improvise on those, doing things with your pedal and with your hands, because you'll want to extend the notes and such. Now, we're going to add the 5th string. This will be the last part of this lesson here. I want to go on up and hit the 5th string, so I'm hitting 8, 7, 6, B pedal, and then I hit the 6th string with my middle finger, and then I'm going to go up and hit the 5th string. No pedal involved there. So let's just do that real slow. So it's thumb, index finger, middle finger, pedal, and then the middle finger hits both the 6th string and the 5th string. So real slow, it's... Now, what I'm going to do to keep the speed there, I've got to Now my middle finger is going to be just now striking the 5th string. That puts my first finger in place, my index finger, it puts it in place to then hit the 6th string. The pedal is still down because, remember, push the pedal down there in the beginning. I hit the 5th string. Now my index finger hits the 6th string, lets off the pedal, and then because it's still in place, to come back real quick and hit the 7th string with the index finger, and then the 8th string hits the 8th, or the thumb hits the 8th string. So it's again. Now we're going to learn to get this really fast. Believe it or not, that's actually kind of hard for me to do that over and over repetitively like that. I have to kind of really think about it because I haven't practiced, that particular lick in a long time. So that's some exercises that you can use later on down the line, putting that kind of thing into a song. If I'm in the key of A at the 5th fret, for example, in an open position, I might, and then something I'll do a lot is raising my E. And even not as so fast, we can get into that bouncing motion. So you can kind of begin to see where some of my speed picking is developing from those exercises that I just showed you. If you would really work on those and get them absolutely perfect in both a slow, then kind of a medium tempo with the bouncing motion, and then also keep that hand in place, and then really try to work those fingers where they can get that kind of motion. And you can see when I'm doing it at that rate of speed, this hand is not even moving. All right, good luck.